I'm happy to share with you the top 3 questions that I've found over my years of working with clients that get right to the heart of the matter from the very first session, so that you can create the impact that you always knew was possible with your work. It's so interesting, the impact of the family imprint, of how we are so much more than our individual challenges and struggles. When you really start to include the full context of the family, it's amazing how different resolutions start to pop up. It's really interesting when you look at attachment sciences to understand that we are really only as needy in our personal love relationship today as our earliest unmet need in our childhood. So it's really important as you start off with a client to get a bit of a lay of the land, not just how did they feel about their childhood, but some of the facts. Did mom have to go right back to work? Did grandma get a scary diagnosis? Did mom and dad have a separation? What went on that would have been really impactful for mom's well-being and ability to attune to your client for the first 5 years of life? This explains so much about how much they trust their own relationship, how much they trust themselves and their own confidence. It's a little bit like understanding your client's foundation and how they move through the world. The second area that I like to go into, my very second question, is to look for any parallels. Look for any similarities, like an echo in the family system. You know, did mom carry a lot of anxiety? That could be one of the reasons why your client is stuck there. Did dad have addiction issues or couldn't really get out of depression? And that might be a lot of what your client is carrying. What's unique about this systemic approach is instead of going after techniques around lifting the anxiety, if we use that as the example, we're looking at how we untangle what we're carrying that never did belong to us. It's incredible the results that can happen when you unwind from that place and understand the root origin of where that expression really started, the anxiety, the depression, the stuck point for the client. The third question I want to explore with my client is if there's any sort of shutdown, cut off, or rejection between them and one or both of their parents. This can be so important to understand the challenges they're facing today. What is unresolved with our parents tends to show up again in our love relationships, sometimes with our kids, and sometimes it's what we bring to work. So really working at that origin, the root cause, tends to open up so many different solutions than if we just look at the rejection. And this is included even if the rejection comes for good reason. It seems that we're not able to reject where we come from. Otherwise, it's served back up in another form, in the form of a boss, a partner, a friend. And so a lot of really getting traction with your clients in just 3 questions is really honing in on those areas. Their early life experiences that maybe they don't even remember, but their body does, which is why you're going to want to focus on the facts of the family. Are we living any kind of parallel? Am I living life like a parent and stuck there? Have I closed my heart to a parent and now I'm repeating it with my spouse or with somebody that I work with or my dear friend? We want to be able to follow these threads to be able to get real resolution for your client from the very first session on.